Have you been diagnosed with 3PD and you want some treatment strategies? Today, we're going to go over one common treatment strategy that I use for treating my clients with 3PD, and that would be optokinetic training. Oftentimes, you cannot go into visually busy places without feeling like you have to leave or it makes you symptomatic. So the alternative is to start to desensitize your brain by exposing it to visual experiences, and you can almost look like you're in that scenario without actually having to be there. So optokinetic training are GoPro videos, basically, of you being in some place that you want to accomplish, something that you want to tackle, whether that be freeway driving, a casino, an airport, a Costco, something that you want to expose yourself to that you have a goal of achieving. So let's say, for example, we pick Costco. I have a video here that I'm going to link of me walking through Costco, and let's see how we can do optokinetic training.
What do I see when I walk past Costco, and why would it be dizzying? All the colors, the ceiling. The aisles with all the different visual going surround. That's disorienting.
Please be. You have another one? No. I don't know. I don't give you
Okay, so how do I use these GoPro videos to desensitize or to habituate and reduce your dizziness in a real life situation? So if we can't go into these stores because it is too overwhelming, we are going to use fake videos, these GoPro videos, where it looks like you're the person walking through. I want you to focus on your somatosensory or your touch system versus your visual system. So you know that you're safe in your house. You know that you are safe in a chair, keeping your feet on the ground, your butt in your chair, maybe you're leaning back into your chair, and you can feel grounded while you're sitting and watching that camera pan to the left, to the right, walking through the aisles. What we're trying to do is teach your brain that the visual input can't be counted on. It's not giving you accurate information. You are not actually walking forward through the aisles of Costco. You can feel that because you're practicing grounding during those exercises. You can feel your butt in that chair and you're not going anywhere. So when you're doing these opto videos, there's a few rules I want you to follow. I stick with the same video until it doesn't produce dizziness. Now that could take 1 to 2 days, that could take 3 or 4. I personally never advise more than 3 to 5 minutes of any video because we often know that with dizziness, you can have sensitivity to the computer screens. So that alone might make you uncomfortable. So don't spend any more time than 3 to 5 minutes. Once you do feel comfortable with that video, say your goal is to go to Costco and we're watching our GoPro Costco video and you're doing fine. Then I want you to try that video in standing so you have less support, less touch to the ground. So you're going to be standing with your feet wide to start watching that video. You may see the camera panning left or right and it may make you feel like you're moving. You try to ground and fight that and kind of teach your brain, no, my eyes aren't giving me good information. I need to count on my feet. Then you would advance maybe the next day to a closer, maybe your feet closer together. After you can accomplish that with no issue, you want to maybe stand on a foam pad or pillow, balance and safety first, keep a chair close by, and then see if you don't have the floor to count on, can you combat that false visual sense of movement and still kind of stand your ground and stay steady? So let's pick another scenario. Let's say you are ready to go on a vacation and you cannot handle airports because they're too busy. Well, let's pick on YouTube, find a GoPro airport video, walking through the airport. And what you'll do is just repeat that process. Start seated and then work up to standing and then work up to a foam pad. Again, desensitizing and habituating your brain to get used to all those sounds, the sights, the feelings that you might experience, to kind of visualize and prep for your brain to know how you're going to handle this scenario. The more precise you can get a video, the better your results are going to be. I've had patients who drive up to Michigan and they have dizziness at a certain bridge. We were lucky enough to find a YouTube video of driving over that specific bridge. So the next time they were going to Michigan, they anticipated and could handle how to ground while they were driving in the car and be able to ignore that spatial disorientation of the high bridge. Now, you're not going to find a video of every specific scenario, but anything close is great. So if you're going to a casino or walking around Chicago or New York, look for a GoPro video specifically of those places. Another little tip I want to give you is that a smaller screen is less immersive. You could also then work up to a bigger screen, a smart TV. And lastly, if you really feel like you needed the challenge and you had access to VR, virtual reality, or an Oculus, that is definitely more immersive. Now, the whole point of kind of baby stepping that into getting your brain used to those environments is to get you into a real life situation. And how are we going to take that optokinetic training into a real life scenario? So you've done your training, you're ready to go into Costco. I want you to accept what your body will tolerate and then be ready to leave when you're starting to get dizzy. You give yourself a high five for making it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is. The worst thing that you can do is just push through. We do not want your brain to associate going into this specific scenario with a fight or flight response. So again, it is all baby steps. You go into Costco for 5 minutes, you start to get dizzy. Unfortunately, it's time to leave, but give yourself gratitude for going, and maybe the next time you try 7 or 10 minutes. So that's how you're gonna use your optokinetic training to desensitize, habituate your brain, and then get you ready for that real life situation. Now, if you don't want the stress of trying to find these optokinetic videos on YouTube yourself, I did the hard work for you. So in the comments below, I will pin that. There is a downloadable PDF for purchase in the comments where you can find those optokinetic videos and get started with full instructions on those today. So if you have any other questions, you know how to reach out to me in comments or email me at treatdizzinessathome@gmail.com.